Today is August 2nd, 2023, and this is what we know about the NFL. We know that as training camp continues, so do the amount of injuries. After a crazy amount of injuries last week, heading into week 2 of NFL training camp, we've got a ton more. First off, right at the beginning of the week, Kenneth Walker is going to be out for a while with a groin injury. More than likely, he's just going to rest most of the preseason and then ramp up for the regular season once we get there in 5.5 weeks. But Seattle's other running back, Zach Charbonnet, is out indefinitely with a shoulder injury. So right now, they don't have two of their best running backs to start preseason. Again, they're probably resting him. We don't know how long it's going to take for him to get back, but something to monitor in Seattle, that backfield. Other injuries that we saw, Zach Moss broke his arm on Monday's practice. My boy, Tim Patrick, tore his Achilles almost to the exact day 1 year later of when he tore his ACL on his other leg last year. Super sad. I was really rooting for Tim Patrick this year. I thought he was going to be the glue for the Broncos offense and their receiving core. He's out for the year with a torn Achilles. Get better, Tim P. I don't really know. What does that mean for his football life, you know? ACL on one leg, Achilles on the other, definitely sad. Not even 15 minutes after he got hurt, KJ Hamler was announced with a heart irritation. He's going to be stepping away from football for at least a couple weeks, maybe a month, with the hope that the Broncos are going to re-sign him because they waived him due to that injury. So hopefully you get better, KJ. We need it. The Broncos need it. On Tuesday, Alexander Mattison hurt his leg. He left practice early. Not a lot of news on that. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Last night, news broke that Cooper Kupp had to leave practice early. He had an MRI on his hamstring. Doesn't seem very serious. He's going to miss a couple of weeks nursing that hamstring and being safe with it because you don't want to ramp up too fast with a hamstring and then it just be lingering the entire season. So again, something to watch, Cooper Kupp. And then Calvin Ridley reported with a toe injury. He's going to be limited in practice for the Jaguars after he had a crazy amount of hype at the beginning of training camp, was crushing it. Everyone was all in. Now he has a toe injury, something to watch. One injury that I was expecting to see in camp and expecting to be held back was Javonte Williams. And to be honest, he's doing amazing. Full go, no stoppages, no limiting. He is practicing full bore. He had an off day today. They said he was going to keep the pads on and train on his own. He's going to be ready for the season. I'm really excited. I'm starting to get the hype train going because everything is on track and above on track of where it should be. So really excited for Javonte Williams and the Broncos running backs. Speaking of running backs, more running back drama happened over the weekend. In case you missed it, Jonathan Taylor and owner of the Colts, Jim Irsay, got into a little feud. Let's look at the timeline. Jonathan Taylor's been wanting to get a deal done because his rookie deal is almost up. Obviously, the whole Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs situation didn't help. So July 29th, Taylor met with Irsay in his private bus. They were going to talk about long-term money, all that stuff. So literally after that happened, Jonathan Taylor requested a trade. So whatever happened in that bus, he did not like. He said, get me out of here. They're not going to pay me. Jim Irsay's already kind of been quoted saying that he wasn't going to pay running backs. He hasn't paid running backs in the past. So I think that all goes into it. Jim Irsay then goes on to tweet, and I don't know if he was on something or what, but he goes on to tweet, if I die tonight and Jonathan Taylor is out of the league, no one's going to miss us. The league goes on. We know that. The National Football League rolls on. It doesn't matter who comes and who goes, and it's a privilege to be a part of it. Wild thing to tweet. Wild thing to tweet. I don't understand it. Regardless, he then goes on answering some reporters when they're like, hey, are you going to trade him? He goes, we're not trading Jonathan Taylor. End of discussion, not now and not in October. Then on Wednesday, Irsay tweeted that player agents were not negotiating in good faith on behalf of the running backs. So clearly he's kind of mad at Jonathan Taylor's agent. He had this to say, NFL running back situation, we have negotiated a CBA and that took years of effort and hard work and compromise and good faith by both sides. To say now that a specific player category wants another negotiation after the fact is inappropriate. Some agents are selling bad faith. Clearly there's something going on there, right? Then Taylor's agent goes on Twitter and says, bad faith is not paying your top offensive player. So holy moly, there's something going on here. And then Irsay went on ESPN and said that comment wasn't really directed at Jonathan Taylor. We haven't exchanged any contract numbers with each other or anything like that. Clearly there's something going on there, something to watch. The Colts said that they might put him on the NFLI list because he hurt his back outside of training camp. Then Jonathan Taylor said, I don't have a back injury. Crazy stuff's going on right now. So just watch that. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm not drafting Jonathan Taylor this year. Fading him. But we do have some good news. We know that the Hall of Fame game is this week. Jets, Browns. I'm excited. I don't know about you. It's the Hall of Fame game, so who really cares? I do, because it's football, baby. Football's back. Doesn't sound like Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing in that game, or Deshaun Watson. So we have the battle of Zach Wilson versus Kellen Mond. Should be great. Most Jets are going to sit out Thursday's contest. Not really seeing anything about the starting lineups just yet, but just know that I'm probably going to be doing some gambling on it because I am ready for football. So I got to get my gambling legs ready, you know. know. Speaking of gambling, we know that a Broncos player did some illegal gambling type stuff, and the NFL might have a gambling problem. Broncos defensive end Eyioma Uwazurike, I don't know how to say his name. My bad if I mess it up. He was suspended by the NFL for violating the gambling rules, and I'm pretty sure he was suspended indefinitely. Turns out there was a complaint filed on Tuesday in Iowa that he bet on 4 Iowa State Cyclone games during his time with the team in college, and 2 games he participated in. So he was playing in the games and he bet on Iowa State. Then it sounds like he tampered with records to make it seem like he wasn't the person who was actually betting, like he concealed his identity to bet. That's highly illegal. He also is accused of placing approximately 32 bets on the Broncos games and pertaining to individuals on the team, so player props, things like that. These bets included 5 games from the 2022 NFL season, one in which he played in Week 15 against the Cardinals. So this guy clearly has a gambling problem, because that's terrible. He's getting a criminal investigation into his wagers. He probably will never play another down in the NFL. That's just, you can't do that. It's illegal in Colorado to bet on a sport that you're in. Yeah, he has an indefinite suspension from the NFL, so I don't see him ever coming back. I mean, definitely not great for him. Don't gamble if you're an NFL player. Pretty simple. I think you're making enough money, you don't need to gamble. Leave that to the poor people like me. Speaking of the Broncos, we know that the Broncos are cursed. Tim Patrick goes out, this guy's gambling. KJ Hamler has a hurt heart. Russell Wilson, all reports in camp are that he's not doing any better than he was last year, which is not good. Sean Payton decided to go after the Jets. Aaron Rodgers answered back, talking some smack, got a little smack talk going. Just not a great situation. Obviously, I'm stoked for Javonte Williams. Hopefully Russell can figure it out. Who knows what's going to go on? The defense is looking good, always is looking good, but my hopes for the Broncos are waning right now. I don't feel really good. So Broncos country, let's ride. Thursday Night Football Hall of Fame game. I'm excited. My name is Rock Quarry, and that is what I know about the NFL.